All right, so I think we're live now.
Give people a second.
Yeah. Is it always just me, or just starting these things is kind of a little awkward?
Because you're sitting there waiting. So.
I think I'm live now.
Think I'm live.
I think I'm live.
Oh, you want to comment something below there? Thanking them. Do another one that says, throw your 2021 goals down in the chat. In the chat. Okay, I'm still called chat. My chair sounds like My chair sounds like an old rickety door. Also put down there in comments if we are using a new microphone today. Let us know if you are having any trouble hearing us. Two watching them.
All right. So, Happy New Year.
Hey, we should, like actually introduce ourselves and stuff. Thank you.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
You want to introduce ourselves, our channel? Out like people, everybody's supposed to know us.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the Long Run Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And we want to welcome everybody to our live stream today, talking about how we did on our 2020 goals and what we got on deck for 2021.
Yep. We also have some tips for anyone who might be, maybe never set goals before, especially, like with an accountability partner, like they've never had, they maybe even set goals themselves, but they've never actually gotten somebody to, be accountable to. So, it's good to have an accountability partner.
Right.
Hey, Josh.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And so if you saw my blog and my video for the last couple of years in January, I give you the authority and the right not to make New Year's resolutions.
That's right.
That's right. We don't make resolutions. We make goals for the year. And we set about to make a plan to make those goals. With resolutions are kind of vague. It's like I want to lose weight, or I want to eat better, or I want to read more, or I want to exercise more, or something like that. And so by the end that you get gung-ho into it the first couple of weeks of January, and then you just kind of lose heart. So and then by the 1st of February, most people have already broken their resolutions and moved on to something else.
That's right.
So the alternative is to set goals for the year, and then set
annual goals, but monthly
right
goals.
Set annual goals, but then make monthly monthly goals that push yourself towards meeting those goals. And so we're going to talk about that as we talk about our 2021 goals. We'll talk about what we plan to do during the year to meet our overall goals for the entire year. Okay.
Hey, mind your money. So we got at least 3 here. Her courage to plan, just frugal me, and mind your money. If y'all, don't know each other, I know her courage to plan and just frugal me do. But if y'all don't know each other, meet up. All right. So, but the first thing that we want to talk about, because we want some input, viewer input, is our channel update, our channel goals for this year. And we want some of your input. So we had a blog, and we wrote that blog for 2 years. We still have it up and it's live, but back, was that November, we decided that we were not going to write on the blog anymore, just because we weren't getting many views from it anyway.
Yep.
We felt like we were doing, more to help people with the YouTube channel. So we decided to let that go. Another thing that was,
well, not let it go, just re-envision what we were doing with our blog.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we were writing, I was writing a blog post on Monday. On Tuesday, I was doing a grocery haul video. On Thursday, I was doing a recipe of the week video, which originally was not part of our plan, but it was requested because I don't see myself as a recipe creator. I can take recipes and cook the food. And so what we saw that people were requesting was for me to show them how we were using our meal plan and the recipes that we were using. So, I always try to, like, if I've gotten the recipe from somewhere else, I put it in the description so that you all know that it wasn't mine in the first place. But it is a way to help you maybe like come up with some new ideas, meal ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of yet. So we were doing that on Thursday. And then on the weekend, we were just doing like random videos with no like real structure to it. And mainly because I didn't want, some weekends I wasn't doing any video, and then some I would. It was just like if I felt like it kind of thing. One thing that I was saying was when we started the YouTube channel, we thought that we were going to use some of the blog post content as videos, but we were never getting to it because we were doing grocery hauls and recipe videos. Yep. And then random stuff. So I wasn't really getting to that content. So what we decided is that we're moving grocery hauls to Monday. Jan, you're never late. You're right on time. That's somebody else I've heard say that. You're right on time whenever you end up here. I appreciate you coming, Jan. Really helps with my. Oh, thank you, Megan. I'm glad it's helping. So we're moving our grocery hauls to Monday. Yep. We're moving our recipe videos that were on Thursday to Wednesday.
Yep.
And Friday is going to be dedicated to either videos on debt freedom, frugal living, health, or fitness.
Yep.
Specifically, no like travel vlogging or anything like that. That day is only going to be that. If we have something like that, we'll do them on the weekend like I used to do, but they will never be like a set thing. But Fridays will be only debt freedom, health, fitness, frugal living kind of thing. So, like health on a budget kind of thing, but I'm trying to figure out what to call Fridays since it's not just one thing. Like Monday is grocery hauls, Wednesday is recipe of the week. I trying to come up with something catchy for Friday. So if y'all have an idea, throw it down in the chat there, and I will give you props for giving me the idea when you if you come up with something that's clever. But anyway, that's we decided we wanted to say that really Frugal Fridays. He was so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, that would probably encompass it. I didn't know if I needed to say something to help them know that it was health or fitness related too, but Frugal Fridays would at least get the point across. So anyway, but we wanted to shoot that in first, and then so we can move on to other topics. But y'all can throw out if any of you have any more ideas. But that's a great one. Hey, Mommy and Kimberly's Adventure. Okay, so that was that portion of it. We honestly, if you look back at last year's video, you'll see us say, we're not worried about numbers of subscribers or anything like that. We just want to improve the quality of our content. And so we weren't real sure we'd get anywhere near the 414 subscribers that we have right now. Thank you all. Like, I know that a lot of it has to do with some of the great YouTube channels that have just taken us in and made us a part of their family, like Rochelle Adamson Budgets. She was one of the first people to ask us to do a collab and to interview us. Josh from Just Frugal Me interviewed us and shouted our channel out in a video or two. Dawn from Sensible Living with Money Mom, like 2 times shouted our channel in her videos. Just unreal. How Debbie Saves, has either shouted us out or collabed with us. And Angel from My Real Life Budget has done that. So many people has done that it helped our channel grow even more than we even thought we would this year. As far as the quality of our videos, though, that's still very important to us that we continue improving the quality, because we feel like if you work on your quality, the subscribers will come. So we had a ring light and we already broke it. So we're going to have to work on that. So the lighting is not good yet. Oh, thank you, Kay Renee. You're the best. Kay Renee has also been very supportive of our channel.
Yep. And Jan, and they're pretty much everybody that's here today has done that,
Jan, how did I miss that? She has shouted out our channel. Oh yeah, like she hardly knew us, I think, and had only seen like a couple of our videos when she shouted out our channel. It was great. So sweet. So anyway, so yeah, our ring light's already gone out. That's why everything's a little dark in our live right now, is because we don't have good lighting at the moment. I know, Josh, it really is like a big family reunion. But for Christmas, our son, who's a sound technician, bought us 2 microphones, and we're using one of them for the first time. Well, you've used it, but it's the first time. We'll get into that. Yeah. But it's the first time we've used it in a live stream. So that's why we're hoping that our sound quality is good and that you're not getting the sound of the refrigerator in the background or anything like that. Or if the air conditioner comes on, I don't know. We'll see. But this is Orlando, and the air conditioning could come on in a little while. And then he also got us, can you hold that? This one. It
looks like a mouse, but
we do record on our phone usually. We're using a laptop right now for live streaming, but we normally record on our phone. And he bought us this microphone to help muffle the background noises. It's only supposed to pick up what it's pointed at. So hoping to have our sound improve in 2021, and we will figure out the lighting situation, and then hopefully our lighting will be better like it was. I think it was better. But anyway, So anyway, so like we said, we did share our schedule. We're also going to use the shorts feature for at least 2 videos every week. One is I'm going to try to see if I can figure out, well, not figure out, but do what's for dinner for the whole week in a 1-minute video and put it up on Saturdays the day before you would see, or Sundays the day before you would see the grocery haul video. So that way, when you voted for the recipe of the week, you would actually have an idea of what those recipes look like and how we actually use our meal plan, because you would see how many times we eat leftovers and stuff. And then the other thing would be this week on the long run, which we had started doing in November. So we'll be using those features for that too as advertisements, so y'all can kind of see what we're doing there. So thank you so much, Kay Renee.
Yeah, thumbs us up.
Yeah, thumbs us up. We didn't think about saying it at the beginning. We appreciate that, because that does, tell YouTube that people are interested in our content. So we appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think that was all the channel update stuff. So
I believe so.
So when we have our goal meeting, we do one at the end of every month, right before we go into the next month, unless we, fall behind and it's a day or two after the month. But, for the most part, oh, hey, Jess, how are you doing? I saw a video that is really interesting title from you about being pregnant, and I'm going to check that video out as quick as I can. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, where was I?
You're talking about having goal meetings.
Oh yeah, we have goal meetings. We sit down. We usually do it at like a brunch meeting. We go somewhere with our little.
We did get behind after the move because there was so much stuff going on. We moved in June, and we kind of got behind in doing that. But we picked it back up last week, actually, as we ended the month and started the new year. We went to a local restaurant here in where we live, and did our goal meeting.
Yeah, if you're in this part of Florida, you may know what First Watch. We went there for brunch, but you don't have to go somewhere like that for a brunch thing or something like that. Just make it a little different than normal. Like maybe if you're having your meeting for breakfast, make pancakes or something like that. Or if you're having dinner, like have a figure out a way to have it where the two, whoever you're having your accountability meeting with, you can have like in a casual setting. Now for us, we're each other's accountability partner, but I mean, if you don't have that relationship with, a spouse or partner or something like that, then have like a good friend to be your accountability partner, but you want to make sure that it's somebody that's going to encourage you and not discourage you to finish up your goals.
Yep.
So you have anything else to add to that?
No, that's pretty good.
And also another thing, and I don't know how everybody else in the budget community feels about this, but this is just us. Our thing is to talk about each other's personal goals and our household goals, and then look at the budget and see what do we need to do with our budget to achieve our goals. Instead of putting a budget together and then trying to figure out how to have goals that mean something to you, but you haven't planned for it. Encouraged, not discouraged. Thank you, Josh. I agree. A frugal Fridays. Okay.
So what are you cooking? We might want to come come over for dinner. Because we're doing leftovers tonight.
That's right. We had a chicken and wild rice soup on Friday, and we're having leftovers.
Yep.
Very important. Yes. Accountability partners are important. So you need somebody who you can talk to and flesh it out. Like if it's not working, what you're doing, somebody that you can say, this isn't working. What can I do? Somebody who will talk you through it. Oh, thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm having a lisp today. Anyway, so.
All right. So we're ready to get to the 2020 update.
Yeah, let's talk about what our goals were last year and how we did on it. Let's just go ahead and talk about Joel and his goals. A lot. He didn't get to accomplish some goals, and it wasn't his fault. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. Okay, there's your list of goals from last year.
All right.
This was in our blog post last year. That's why he's looking over at the laptop.
Yep.
Because he's looking at what we wrote in our blog last year that he was going to do.
Yeah. So my first goal was to run 1,500 miles in 2020. In 2019, I set a goal to run 1,200 miles, and I actually wound up running 1,300. And so I wanted to stretch that a little bit. I almost thought about doing 2,020 miles, but I knew we were going to move. We're opening a restaurant, and I knew that was probably a little far-fetched and a little challenging. Obviously, 1,500 is going to be challenging, but
chicken stew. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So I knew 2020 was going to be a little challenging to meet. So I decided to go back and just increase it a little bit, and I went with 1,500. So that was my goal, to run 1,500 miles this year. By July, I was a month ahead, which meant that if I had stayed on that pace.
It was a month ahead because he took 1,500 and divided by 12. You know?
Yeah, I take 1,500, I divided by 12, and said this is what I need to run each month to get there. By the end of July, I was 1 month ahead. If I had stayed on that pace, I would have finished at the end of November. However, the restaurant opened the end of August, and so I only ran 69 miles in September. And then December wasn't a really good month, just because of sickness and things going on and stuff like that. And so I only ran 87 miles. And so I did make my 1,500, but only because I ran 6 miles on December 31st.
Yeah. He made it by like a quarter of a mile or
like a quarter of a mile over 1,500. So I did make it, and was excited about that.
Oh, thank you.
All right. My next goal was to read 12 books, and that's 1 book per month. I did that by reading 2 books in December. For some reason, I couldn't get motivated to read in November. Believe me, motivation is a big thing. You got to find motivation somewhere to hit your goals. And so for some reason, November just kicked me in the rear for some reason. And so I did read 2 books in December. That finished up my 12 books for the year. I also planned to, I had a goal to run the Galveston Marathon. That was in February of last year. And that was actually the last live race I ran until December. It was the first weekend in February. Ran the Galveston Marathon, and then COVID hit pretty much in late February, middle of March. Everything shut down. All the races shut down. And then they just started having live races again, in-person races again, towards the end of the year. And so I did run 2 races later in the year, Thanksgiving, and then first week in December. But I did run the Galveston Marathon. That was one of my goals, to run that. And I set up I also set a goal in the Galveston Marathon to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Now, I would have had to run 3 hours and 30 minutes. However, I did meet that goal. I did not meet that goal. I ran it in 3 hours and 42 minutes, which is still a really good time, but not good enough for Boston. Also had planned to run the Chicago Marathon. I was qualified and everything for it. And
it was canceled.
When it was canceled because of COVID. And so, we weren't able to do that.
And then
my last one was to register and train to run the Disney World Dopey Challenge. Now, if you know what the Dopey Challenge is, during Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, they have a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon. You can register to run any one of those single races. You can also register to run what they call Goofy's Race and a Half, which is the half and the full marathon on consecutive days, Saturday and Sunday. Or you can register to run the Dopey Challenge, which is to run the 5K on Thursday, the 10K on Friday, the half marathon on Saturday, and then the full marathon on Sunday. And so my goal was to register for that and run it in January. It's supposed to be next weekend, but they went virtual this year. And when they actually opened it up, I didn't get in time to register for it. So I didn't get that in. That's another one of my goals this year is to, if they do run it next January in person, is to register for it in June and run it next January. So most
you
of
are
those
running the half though with two people who.
Yeah, a friend of mine and his son were registered to run the half marathon next Saturday here at Disney World. And since it's virtual, they're still coming down and staying on the property there at Disney World, but they don't have any place to run. And so I said, come on over. I'll map us out 13.1 miles, and then after we're done, I'll treat you to some Chick-fil-A. So they're coming down next weekend. We're gonna run a half marathon. So
yep.
Yeah. So those are my goals for 2020.
And how they went.
Yeah.
Like I said, he couldn't do anything about Chicago Marathon or
Disney or anything like that. It's just,
for Disney, it was just
stuff out of your control.
Just one of those years.
Yep.
I did one of my things was just doing like an AIP autoimmune protocol diet, and I did that one, and I think that I had a time frame where we were going to be moving, and I didn't want to be on it at that time frame. So I started adding stuff back probably faster than I should have. So I really don't think that I came to any conclusions by doing that. So, but it was fine. And I had read 12 books as well. And one of my things is I read a lot of classic novels, and so in November,
I do not read a lot of classic novels.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't read, like when he reads his.
When I call it trash reading, it's actually trash reading.
It's like fiction and it's like easy reading, and I'm like sitting there reading Oliver Twist and so in November I decided to read Oliver Twist, and it was like almost 500 pages, and December came and I still wasn't finished. And it's January and I'm still not finished. I've got about 30 something pages left. So I'm going to finish it and then move on to the what did we call it when it's not a trash reading?
Personal
growth book for January is going to be YouTube Secrets. I don't know if y'all heard of that one. But anyway, I'm going to be reading that one. And then my other thing was to try 2 new food items or recipes every month. And we pretty much do that every month. You'll see me either trying a new recipe or at least 2, or a new food product that like is different that I've never tried before, and see if I like it. So, I'm definitely going to be incorporating that still in the 2021. Mm-hmm. So other than, the book thing, that was really, and I think I may have had something about walking every day, and I do and I started like a month or so ago posting my, go for a walk, which was, I used to do some of the walking when I was in Houston was in the apartment, just going back and forth. But here in Orlando, it's warm pretty much all the time. So it's been pretty much walking outside, and so it makes it really easy. Our financial goals last year, we do no spend days every month. And usually in January, we start with 13 days being the amount of no spend days that we shoot for. And then if we make those 13 days in January and February, we go to 14 and March to 15. And so I don't remember if we set one for November, did we?
No.
I don't think we set it for November and December. We get to that point where we're buying stuff for Christmas presents and stuff. And so we usually kind of let it go. It's still budgeting. Everything is in the budget, but we don't worry about no spends as much. We still get no spends and we still track them, but we don't worry about setting a number those 2 months. But we accomplished that like up till October. October, we were something in the 24, 23, maybe something like that. We had sinking funds. With our grocery budget, we set our grocery budget at a certain amount. But if we don't use the full budget amount, we move that into a household essentials fund, which is for either toiletries, household items that we need. Could be for a piece of furniture that we decide to buy. Like when we moved here, we had a 3rd bedroom and we didn't have that in Houston. So we thought we were going to make that into a guest bedroom for when our son and daughter-in-law come. And so we used the household essentials money to buy a futon. And we also got some things like shower curtains and things like that we needed. So that's what we do with and it kind of, since we know that if we're good with our grocery budget, we get to move money into that. It's kind of like, it makes us want to strive to have money left in the grocery budget every month at the end of the month. So it kind of challenges us to stay underneath that budget, and we will continue that because it works really well for us. We had set up a sinking fund for electronics, and we used it for something. We had to buy a new not router, or
router.
A new router,
New wireless router.
Yeah. So. But our internet's working a lot better now.
Yep. Much better.
Then we have one for car maintenance. And we keep that, our car is 13 years old. We have to watch it. And that was pretty much it. Our other goal was to move without any debt or anything like that, to be able to cash flow the entire move. And that's what we did. So, let's see. That was all of our 2020 goals. And like I said earlier, as far as YouTube goes, our goal was not about numbers. It was just about improving the quality. And so, we got microphones. We had a ring light. Yep. So we just probably will try to get a better ring light next time. Yeah. So, all right. So that's all that.
All right. So let's get to 2021. I'm going to let you go first.
Me first?
Yeah.
12 books. Obviously, I'm starting by finishing off 2020. 30 pages.
There you go.
Come on. Charles Dickens is kind of hard to read.
He is.
It gets deep. Anyway, go for a walk at least 5 days a week, but technically I usually do 6 days a week And then on Sunday, we're normally usually running errands. So I
Mhm.
usually get all those. I also do weightlifting and stuff like that. But
Yep.
I'm doing, for several years now, I've been working on just incorporating more vegetables in my diet. And I've done that, but I feel like I want to take it to the next level. So I'm going to be doing some low carb swaps. And by low carb swaps, I mean like, instead of white rice, cauliflower rice. Not brown rice, I want the veggie. So I want cauliflower rice or broccoli rice, something in that neighborhood. And then pastas, I'm going to be doing more of like pastas that are lower carb, maybe like made with chickpea flour or red lentils or something like that. I'm looking at those.
What?
Are you shaking your head?
Yep. I will not be doing that.
Well, I talked you into the pasta that was penne pasta that was made with a couple of different flours, but not.
Yeah.
Anyway, you'll see that in our grocery hauls that I'm working to like replace the bread, rice, and pastas with lower carb options. And so that will be one. And then I've got, which we didn't say that in our blog last year, but we've got read the Bible through. We're doing like a read the Bible through the year thing.
Yep.
And so that one's all mine, I think.
All right.
Go.
All right. Yeah, I've got a couple things. Some of them are the same. Some of them are a little different. I did set a running goal this year, but it's not a mileage goal. It's a mile. It's a pace per mile goal. I do still want to run at least 1,000 miles, which I feel like shouldn't be any problem to do. But I want to run those 1,000 miles at least an 8-minute per mile pace.
What were you averaging?
This year I averaged, because usually I run my long runs on Sunday at a lot slower pace than I would any other type of run. But this year I ended at 8 minutes and 32 seconds per mile for 1,500 miles. So I thought that was pretty good, but I really think I can do better. So running faster will also help me to run faster. So if that makes sense. So anyway, so that's my goal. My running goal for this year is 8 minutes per mile pace of at least 1,000 miles. So I'll keep you updated on that as we move along throughout the year. I'm not making any goals as far as live races go, because I'm still not sure how that's going to work this year.
When they're going to come back.
Yeah, when they're going to fully come back. But I've got my eye on a few for 2022 that I'm really excited about. So we'll see. We'll just see how that goes. I would like to get some live races in this year, because for me, I run better when there are people around me.
Yes.
I run faster when there are people around me. So, and that's right. It is a competition. I do count how many people I pass in at least the last 3 miles of a half marathon or a marathon or something like that.
They call it killing a kill.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm on that. I'm also going to read 12 books again this year, starting off with the personal growth. Actually, I'm reading 2 books this month. One of them is the one I'm reading for work, which I'm going to include in I'm going to go get it. I'm going to include it in my it's going to be one of my 12 books. I know, dead air. But this is the book that I'm reading for work.
I could have said something. Instead of
all the leaders at our restaurant are reading this book. It's called Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, you might want to pick up a copy. Just a few pages in. But this is one of the title here. It's something I preached for 25 years, that small changes make big results in your lives. And so that's kind of what the theme of the book is. And really kind of excited about reading that and seeing what they have to say. I'm also reading a book called Halftime, which is really it's for anybody really, but it's really for people that are a little older, that have reached at least halfway through their life, and they're at the point now where they're trying to find significance. They use the first 20, 25 years of their life of their adult life to chase after things. And then the last half of your life, you're chasing after significance. So I'm reading that book, and it's been pretty interesting so far. So 12 books this year. I also want to read the Bible through again, doing that. And then the fourth thing that I'm going to do this year, my goal is to start a podcast. I have some ideas. It's going to be an encouraging podcast, based on devotional readings that I do. It'll be once a week. It'll be probably post on Mondays, so that you can listen to it. Have encouragement for your week coming up. I actually have an old blog that I used to write on. I haven't written on it in a while, but I've got some things on there that I can pull over that are kind of podcast worthy, I guess you might say, that I can pull over and do as well. So kind of excited about that, and kind of excited.
Kind of, which is why our son gave him a microphone for
this
Christmas.
Microphone
is for podcasting.
It's for podcasting. That's the one we're using today, and we hope it sounds a little better than what it has been in the past. So, but that one is supposed to be really good for podcasting specifically. So those are my personal goals and her personal goals, and we have set some money goals. We haven't quite fleshed those out all the way. We're going to set some new sinking funds. We want to continue saving to our 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And then we're going to set some other goals for saving for. We
definitely have one for car.
For a car.
Not only because ours is 13 years old, but because that's the only one we have.
Yeah.
So it does limit us in, being able to do things. And our son who lives with us is going to be transferring to UCF, and that's going to be
it's probably about 10, 15 miles away.
10, 15 miles away. So to get him to be able to go to college every day, it's going to require us figuring out something different with a car. So that is a huge win for us this year. It's going to be that car.
Yep. So there you go. So those are kind of our money goals. We set sinking funds as we kind of think of them, as we have inspiration for them. So we won't really set goals for those until we actually come up with the inspiration to have one. So
that is one of the reasons why we do a monthly goal meeting, is to talk about what's working, what's not, and if we need to make changes to sinking funds and stuff like that, we can do that. And and just say, oh, you know what I thought about? We should have a sinking fund for this, because I think that we may have added 1 or 2 sinking funds in the middle of the year last year.
Yeah.
Which I didn't say. We also had our sinking fund for moving last year, but that was obviously one that we moved without any debt. We used the money that was there. And we had a Christmas sinking fund, which we didn't mention either, but and we always do that. But
that's right.
So did we have any others?
That's it.
I'm not sure. We hadn't really talked about, if we were going to do it like in a savings challenge or anything like that, or if we're just going to determine a certain amount goes into our sinking funds. But we're like that. We'll just all of a sudden realize we want to do something like that. But anyway.
So that's it.
That's it.
So those are our goals for the year, and we want you guys to help keep us accountable. So anytime you see us on here, or make a comment, say, hey, how you doing in your goals this year? Keep us accountable for those. And we're excited about what 2021 holds. 2020 was a bad year in a lot of respects for a lot of people, but there's a lot of good that came out of it too. So we're excited about what the new year holds, new goals that are coming up, and new adventures and new things going on. And we're really excited about what the future holds.
Yep.
Okay.
We will in the future when he gets his podcast going, we will put a link in video descriptions so that if you want to be able to.
Yeah, it'll be on all the platforms. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, any of those. It'll be on all of those.
Yeah.
So
So we'll do that. We probably won't mention it regularly because it's not necessarily connected to this in any way. But if that's something that you are interested in, we will put a link down there so that you can let's do it if you're interested. And he already has a name for it.
Yep.
So and he has a trailer.
Yep.
So he just needs.
I just haven't published anything yet. I want to get 3 or 4 episodes up before I publish anything, so that people actually have things to listen to.
Yeah.
Even more than one thing to listen to once I get it up. So kind of like starting a YouTube channel or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Or a blog post.
Yeah.
It really helps to have a few in the
multiple
can
episodes,
already.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on that some more this week as well. So, yep.
Thank you, Megan. You should their goals. They have some really big savings challenge goals. They do the savings challenges.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. All right. Well,
all right. I think that's going to do it for our live stream today. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always a pleasure when we look up and we don't see 0 by that little eye on the little screen there.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you all for your support. Everybody on here that we've seen today and that we've mentioned, everybody that's been in the chat has supported us in some way, and we are eternally thankful for you guys.
Yes.
Because we wouldn't be where we are without you.
Yes.
And so thank you for all you've done to help our channel and to give us some encouragement, some words of wisdom, and things like that. So thank you for that, and we look forward to what all of our channels do in 2021. We're looking for a lot of growth from all of us. So keep plugging away at it. It's going to keep. We're going to get there. So just keep plugging. Keep putting stuff up there.
Let me just say before we go, we are going to be quickly recording a new channel lineup update that will go up, and that will be to say what the new channel update will be, like the new schedule. So expect that's going to come later today probably, or at least by morning, and go ahead and give you this week. On the long run, grocery haul tomorrow, I think it was $76. It was our last haul of 2020. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, hey, Steve. Okay, so anyway, the grocery haul will be $76. It was our last haul of December, so that one's going to go up tomorrow morning. Wednesday, we didn't have any votes for the recipe of the week before, just because we said don't vote. We needed to get past December. It was Christmas dinner week, but anyway, but what I have been requested several times is a broccoli stem soup that I eat for lunches sometimes, and then also a sweet potato bowl where I just do the sweet potatoes and a fried egg on top. So I'm going to do a what I eat in a day video that's going to go up Wednesday instead of the recipe of the week. And also, y'all be sure tomorrow, grocery haul, vote for the recipe of the week. And then Friday is actually, I don't know that I have a lot that you can vote on. If you don't, I'll figure out something for the next week. And then Friday, I'm going to start a little series for the first few weeks that is things that you can make at home that's going to save you money in a recipe. Things like the cream of chicken soup. I know I've shared it, but it was inside of a recipe video for something else. So I just want that video to be standalone.
Yep.
But there'll also be things like seasoning blends and other things that you can save money instead of having to buy the packaged thing. So, and that'll be
All right.
the whole week.
All right, so there you go. We are going.
you.
We are planning to go to the parks, go to Universal this week too. So you never know. We might have an extra video pop up on the weekend one day.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few little videos like that from time to time that'll be on the weekend, and they'll be random and never like a specific every week. I'm going to be sharing a travel thing. It would just be, oh, I got some content. So
there we are. So thank you guys for joining us today, and
yes, thank you.
We appreciate you all. And for the long run with Joel and Christy, I'm Joel,
and I'm Christy.
And don't forget, it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.
See you guys.